Hi creators, it's Claire and happy Friday. And I'm not sure I've actually wished you a happy 2021, but I'm just going to stop in briefly today to summarize the 7 signs of avoiding your money. And if you are here and you do join me live, make sure you say hi in the comments. And I would love to know which is your favorite sign of avoiding your money. So the first sign, the most obvious, and probably one that pretty much everybody suffers from, is that there's a general level of chaos around your money. Now, it doesn't have to be all things money, but it certainly can be. Hi, Jodie. So the first one, chaos, and that might be, you can't remember your bank login details, you can't remember the last time you checked your bank. The sort of chaos of just not having any idea of really what's happening with your finances. Sign number 2 goes a little bit deeper than a level of chaos, and it goes into really not having a handle on your financial situation. So you don't really have an idea of what you need to bring in, what you're spending, kind of maybe call those a budget, what's happening in your business, how much you could be spending on expenses. And these signs really do show up both in personal life and in business life. Maybe in slightly different ways, but probably the same signs, because we tend to avoid things in the same ways, whether they're business or finance. So the second one is really not having a handle on your financial situation, like, oh, retirement, that's a future thing, I'll worry about it then. Oh, student loans, yeah, some point I will deal with that. So that kind of financial situation, I'm really just not under control at all. The third one, and probably one that comes up more in business that I see, is that somebody else is managing pretty much all the finances in your life. Now, in personal life, generally this is a partner. So one person in that relationship is pretty much, in charge of all the bank logons, how much money is, when credit cards get paid, all that sort of stuff, when bills get paid. In business, this actually shows up a lot as people just giving all their financial power, because in effect that's what we're doing, to like a bookkeeper or their accountant. And really, you will know my position on this if you've been here for any length of time at all, you need to know your numbers better than anybody, particularly when it comes to your business. The things your bookkeeper tells you should really not be a surprise, and you should be totally aware of them. Sign number 4 is that you keep moving into new things, trying different things, and moving bank accounts to try and get, a better deal, moving credit cards, moving loans, trying new financial books, trying new bookkeeping systems, trying new apps, and never really sticking with anything. And that is actually a sign of avoiding, because you're looking for a magic bullet that potentially doesn't exist. And what it gives us is permission to keep avoiding by not committing to something. The 5th sign is that you keep chastising yourself on not being more organized, and you just make these promises. I'll deal with this next week, next month, next time, next quarter, maybe next financial year. I'll get this all sorted next financial year. The amount of times I have heard that. But really they're empty, because you need to be taking actions today to work towards that. If you really do want to have your financial sorted next financial year, it doesn't happen just next financial year. It starts today, and you work up to that with small actions. Sign number 6, and this is one that we kind of use as an excuse, because believe me, you do not need to be good at maths, you do not need to be good at logic or analysis, you do not need to be right-brained or critical or any of those things to be good at managing your money. It is really a skill pretty much everybody can manage, and actually can be really useful. Being creative, being left-brained and approaching things slightly differently can really actually become an advantage in finding solutions to making things work. So you have a budget, maybe something unexpected happened this month, you can find a way to make that work using your creativity. So use it to your advantage rather than having it be an excuse to stop you achieving something. And then sign number 7, the last one that I came up with, and that I shared on the blog this week, is that although it seems productive, you're really prioritizing everything else over finance. Everything else comes before managing your money, whether that's client work or housework, or, you know, if you're talking personal finance, it could be your job, it could be your family, it could be your hobbies. Like, it seems productive to go out and have I want to say, for some reason, having a picnic with family, prioritizing those family relationships over your money, but what that shows is they're actually avoiding it. So although it seems productive, cleaning the house seems productive, if you're using that as an excuse to take away the time you should be using to manage your finances, then it's probably not as productive as it first seems. So that is my super quick, almost, recap on each of the 7 signs that I've shared on the blog and on my socials over the last 7 weeks. But I have one more installment in this, which is going to be kind of a sum up of how things look, how things feel, how they work in action when we aren't avoiding our money, and kind of what good money management looks like, sounds like, feels like, and also kind of how we can support that. So yes, you're going to need tools and systems, you're going to need habits, you're going to need to face some uncomfortable moments, you're going to need to get friendly with your bank account, your bookkeeping software. You know, there's lots of elements that come into it. So it's not one huge thing, it's actually lots of small things that come together. So you'll have to stay tuned for next week when I talk about that. Now, if you haven't shared with me, I would love you to tell me which of the 7 signs you're most guilty of. So chaos, not knowing your situation, somebody else managing everything, trying all the shiny things, not being organized enough, not being right-brained enough, or just prioritizing, procrastinating, baking, cleaning. Which one are you most guilty of? Now, I have left the link to sign up for the email series where I deliver tips on how to deal with all of the signs. So there's one email for each of the tips. There's one email for each of the signs, even, with 3 tips in each. So one a short and easy to implement, one a little bit longer and more juicy, and then a third one really start to get this sign resolved so you deal with your finances. And I really do hope you sign up and get that. It's completely free, delivered to your inbox by magic, automatically anyway. And I hope you have an exciting weekend. My personal update would be that we did move house this week. We moved to Orange, which is about 250 kilometers west of Sydney. I'm not actually there at the moment. I'm at my in-laws, kind of transitioning between and getting things sorted. So my weekend is probably much going to look like unpacking and deciding where I'm going to put everything in the kitchen and which drawers I'm going to use for my clothes and which bedrooms are going to get used for which purpose. So it's good. Lots of small decisions to be made, and maybe we will get to know the neighbours a little bit as well. So I hope you have something exciting planned, and I will be back next week from my new office, although it's probably not going to look that much different to my old office, but maybe you'll be able to notice a difference. I'll see you next week.